Welcome to a video about an upgrade of an old Hornby B12 locomotive. The Hornby B12 LNER number 8509 was the second locomotive I received as a birthday or Christmas present way back in the 70s. That original hasn't survived, it's in bits, but I did buy a nostalgic replacement a few years back. Here it is in its original box, an eBay purchase. Although I had converted it to DCC, it seems to be dead. This may be due to the high current from the old X03 motor. So I'm going to replace the old motor with one from Horns and Whistles, made for direct replacement. It looks good as a flywheel, it's skew wound with 5 poles, which should lead to smooth performance. Let's open the loco up and take a look inside. There's a screw at the back that allows the loco shell to be removed quite easily. Inside we see the old ship and motor, so I'll remove that. Before putting the new motor in, let's check if it works. Yes, it does. Now I'm just testing the old chip in the latest DCC tester. It connects almost up to any chip. The chip is unresponsive and appears to be dead. It's a good idea to look at the Horns and Whistles YouTube video. The new motor screws into the same place as the old. It conveniently has a little cutout shown here in the base to allow the brown positive wire up from the current collectors. I did find that I couldn't push the motor all the way in because of the structure of the chassis, so the hole in the motor base doesn't align with the hole in the chassis. So checking the worm gear still engages with the axle gear, I drilled another hole in the motor base. I wanted to test if it runs in the DC first. It works, but it's a bit wobbly. That's the wheels, of course, not the new motor. I'm going to use a Hornby X03 DCC chip, which I got from Wales of Sheffield for £34.50, a reasonable bargain for a sound chip. I need to get a harness too, which takes the price up to just over £40. I've now downloaded the B12 sound profile, which is a bit tortuous, but we got there. And I want to run it from my Z21 DC system, not Hornby's Bluetooth. So here it is on the latest DCC tester. So we can go through all the functions. The sound on, the whistle, another whistle. That's the cylinder cock. Supposed to be wheel slip here, not feeling that. Coal shoveling. ejector. Oh yeah. Safety valve. Good. And whistle. And it started going. In reverse. Coming to a stop. Here's the chip mounted on the local chassis and testing on the rolling road. As usual, the red and black wires are the inputs to the chip and the grey and orange wires are the outputs to the motor. I don't need any of the other wires, so I've wrapped them up in tape. And you will be able to see here that the wheels are still quite wobbly. Hornby recommend the largest speaker enclosure. I can probably fit that into the tender. Let's have a look. A single screw holds the body onto the wheel frame. Inside there's a weight and the screw goes into a long lug that protrudes from the middle of the body. The speaker enclosure fits size-wise, but the lug will prevent it sitting properly. So I've drilled an 8mm hole through the enclosure. I had to turn the whole speaker enclosure round because of the small space between the lug and the tender body, not quite allowing it to be in position there. The wires provided are just long enough to make it to the DCC chip at the front of the loco. And I've also got to drill a 4.5mm hole through the front of the tender and the rear of the loco. The speaker plug is 4.36mm wide. Here's the speaker in the sound box now, the wire leading through the tender body. It's going to be a tight fit getting the wire to the chip in the loco. I've just put a bit of lubrication on the gears, plastic to plastic, so I use this silicone grease. I've also put a piece of plastic from a food carton over the motor, flywheel and gear to protect and separate the wires so they don't get caught in the mechanism. You can also see the tab and black wire clearly here as supplied by Horns and Whistles. The wires are held in place using both sticky tape and double-sided sticky pads. The speaker wire is ready to be attached to the chip and the body put back in its place. So on to the track now. Well, it's running quite well. You can actually see the chip and tape under the body. I may give that a touch of black paint so it's less obvious. But loco working well, could do with a stay alive probably. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting and perhaps informative. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.